The very first live theater show that I remember seeing, I believe, was in 1986, and it was Oliver at the Monroe Civic Center. And I had just moved to Monroe, Louisiana, and I think we were on a school trip, and I was just blown away at the talent and the magic, and I was particularly fond of the young lad playing Oliver. He was a little blue-eyed, freckled-faced, bowl-cut Reed Farley. Anywho, Reed, and 2 years later, I started doing theater with Reed, and he and I have been best friends ever since. So that's the happy ending of Oliver that a lot of people don't know about.
I saw Annie when I was in grade school. No idea what year it was. I had to have been in about 5th or 6th grade, maybe. I can't do the math right now, but that was probably in the early 80s. And I just remember going to it, and as much as I enjoyed it, I wanted to be up there. And I felt bad because I wanted to be up there, but I was far too shy. I wouldn't talk in public or anything like that. Not too much later.
I've been in the theater for a very long time. I have not actually played in the theater for a very long time. I mean, in the scheme of my life, I have been doing theater a while. But in the scheme of my life, not really. But I've been watching theater performances for a very long time. Theater is a very important part of my family, which I would say is probably the case with a lot of theater kids, theater nerds. But my aunt is, she's one of my favorite people on the planet, my Aunt Linda. She's been performing in theaters for years and years and years and years. So I've seen her in several performances, and those are probably the first performances that I've ever seen in a theater. And truthfully, watching her on stage and listening to her beautiful voice and her being so fantastic is part of what brought me to the excitement of being in the theater. And so that's probably, those are the first memories that I have in a theater, is watching my Aunt Linda.
What was the first live theater show that I saw? I think it was The Hobbit at Yelm Tree. I don't really remember that show all that much. I do remember hearing my sister talk to giant spiders, but the actual first show that I remember seeing was Oliver, and that one does actually stand out because at the end of the show, a friend of ours, Bray Wilkins, his character got killed, and my brother was the one that shoots him. And from what I'm told, I thought that was real. And so when he got killed, I actually ended up screaming out his name because I thought he actually was killed by my own brother. I can't actually confirm if that happened. That's just at least something that I've been told.
The first show that I saw, or at least the first one that I remember seeing, was when the Broadway cast of Cats came to the Civic Center in Monroe. I don't even know how old I was when I saw it. Of course, my siblings all did theater growing up, so I'm sure I had watched live theater a lot before that, but that's the first show that I really remember going to see.
I don't exactly remember what show that was, so I'm gonna go with the first live theater show that I saw at the Strauss Theater, and that was Footloose back in 2007.
Let's see, the very first live theater show I saw was at the Little Theater when it was located in an old barracks at Silman Field. But I was a little girl then, so I don't remember what show it was, and neither do my parents who took me. My first Broadway show I saw was Les Miserables, and it remains today my very favorite show of all time.
The first live show that I remember seeing was at the Young Stage, and my aunt and uncle took me to see Oliver. I'm not sure what year that was, maybe like 99, 98, because I was really little whenever I saw it.
The first show I ever remember seeing was Storybook Christmas with the Twin City Ballet over at the Civic Center. I'm sure I saw shows before then, but that was the first one with all the lights and the music and the dancing and the costumes and John McDonald as Captain Hook. I just immediately fell in love with theater, and I've loved it ever since.